Hello everybody, getting ready to do lesson 9.6 of Pre Algebra Math, part 1. In today's lesson we have a 38-point classwork sheet to go with that, and no note-taking today, just all classwork sheet. In today's bell work, students, teachers, extended problem solving, uses a grid, which tree is further from the tree at point A, so we have a tree down here at point A. Which tree is further from point A, the tree at point B, or point C? So we're trying to figure which tree is further away. How much further to the nearest meter is it from the tree at point A? So you have to figure, basically students, you have to figure the distance of point B and point C. Teachers give your students about 7-8 minutes. Okay, here is the solution here for our bell work today, because we got square root of 68 and square root of 61. This is line AC is here, so we have this here to AC. So here's A here, point A, then point B and point C, so we're going to figure those out, and then we put those into our distance formula here, and then see distance for AB for this distance here is 2 times square root of 17, and then the distance to point C I think was in the previous slide there, so that is, it looks like it's further. So definitely, if teachers, if your students come up with this calculation here to which tree is farther from point A, if they come up with either one of these calculations here, give them credit, give them the 10-point credit for it. Okay, into our lesson today, you found side lengths of right triangles. You use special right triangles to solve problems. So we have a 45, 45, 90 here. A diagonal square of a square divides it into two 45, 45, 90s. It's in such a triangle, the lengths of the legs are equal, so A and A, all these are congruent here, are equal. And let C represent the length of the hypotenuse. So here's our hypotenuse here of this triangle. It's opposite of the 90-degree angle here. So here's our Pythagorean theorem. So by the Pythagorean theorem, C squared equals 2A squared, which equals C squared. So C equals radical 2A squared, or A times square root 2, within a 45-45 context. So what does that mean? 45-45-90 and 45-45-90 triangle, the length of the hypotenuse is the product of the length of a leg and square root of 2. So you just know automatically that the hypotenuse is A, the side, times square root of 2. That's the length of it. So for algebra here, again, hypotenuse equals leg times square root of 2, or A times square root. So we have a situation here, gymnastics. We have a situation here. The mat used for floor exercises at a gymnastics competition is a square with a side length of 12 meters. Side make 12 meters. The gymnast starts at one corner of the mat and does a tumbling routine along the diagonal to the opposite corner. To the nearest meter, how long is the gymnast's path? So evidently this is the gymnast's path. Here will be the hypotenuse of this triangle. So 45, 45, 90, the diagonal is the hypotenuse. So we have to figure this distance here to find a solution to this problem. Hypotenuse equals leg times radical 2. And then in this case, it would be 12 times radical 2 would be this distance here. So by using a calculator, it's approximately 17. So the gymnast's path would be about 17 meters long for this situation here. Okay, our guided practice here. Students, this is yours. Pay attention. Find the unknown length. So we have a side here, and then we have a hypotenuse here up here in our guided practice. So how would we solve that? We know that the length of a leg is 32 units. Leg would equal 32. We know this is 32 over here as well. What's the hypotenuse? It'd be the leg times square root of 2. So it'll be 32 times square root of 2 would be our length here of our hypotenuse. 30, 60, 90. Now we come with our 30, 60, 90. This is a 60. This is a 30 degree. This will be your 90 here. The equilateral triangle has a side length of 2a. So we have a situation here where this is 2a, this is 2a, and then both these are 60s. So this is a 60, and then this will be another 30 on this triangle here. Each right triangle has a hypotenuse of 2a. This would be the hypotenuse of this triangle here. This is a 90 on this side too. So let B be the length of the longer leg. This is the longer leg, or the height actually of this. Is called an isosceles. We won't get into that now. So 2a squared, by using elimination here, 2a squared, and that is our hypotenuse here. We're going to use algebra to find our ratios here. 2a squared equals a squared plus b squared. Then b squared equals 4a squared minus a squared equals 3a squared. So b equals 3a squared, or a times square root of 3. So this would be our long side here of our 30, 60, 90. This would be the ratio here. Short side times square root of 3 would equal b here in this situation. So a times the square root of 3 would equal b is what this amounts to. Okay, so using a problem now in the 30, 60, 90. We won't get there yet, but here's another concept slide. And this is classwork page 7, students. And at 30, 60, 90, the length of the hypotenuse is twice the length of the shorter leg. So 2a equals our hypotenuse. So our short leg here is really important. In a 30, 60, 90, it's multiplied by square root of 3 for the long side, and then doubled for the hypotenuse. So the algebra here, hypotenuse 2 times shorter leg, and then the longer leg is a times square root of 3. So the short leg in a 30, 60, 90 is really crucial in figuring the lengths of your other parts of the angle. So into example 2, using a 30, 60, 90, we have this situation here where we have a 30. This is a 90, so we know this is a 60 degree angle here. This is 8. This would be an 8 here. And then this is y here. The 60 would be, make this side the longer side because it's opposite of the 60 degree angle on that vertex. And then the 30 degree, the side opposite the 30 degree angle will be your short side. And this is 8 here. So you know 8 would be a in this situation here. 30, 60, 90, length of the short leg would be 8 units here. It's opposite the 30 degree angle. Hypotenuse is 2 times the short leg. So what would our hypotenuse be now? Then now that we know, it'd be 2 times 8, so it'd be 16 would be the length of our hypotenuse here. So what's the length of the longer leg, which is y here? It's opposite of our 60 degree angle. So it'll be the shorter leg times square root of 3. So it'll be 8 times square root of 3 will be the length of y. And then the length y of the long, yeah, we already know that. So our hypotenuse, we know our hypotenuse, and we know the length of our long leg, because all we know here is the length of the shorter leg. Okay, it's finding on the lengths now. Guided practice number 1. Students, this is yours, so pay attention up here. Okay, to find our lengths here, we know the length of our short leg here is opposite of the 30 degree angle. This is the short leg, so it'll be 9 times square root of 3 would be the longer leg. So we know x equals 9 times square root of 3, and then our hypotenuse here would be 2 times 9, remember? 2 times the short leg equals the hypotenuse, that'd be 18. Again, students, pay attention so you can do your independent practice. And that was lesson 9.6, part 1. Part 2 and part 3 are available there. Thank you very much.